Cain and Abel were the two sons of Adam and Eve, the first family in the biblical tradition. Cain was the older brother, a farmer who worked the soil. Abel was the younger brother, a shepherd who tended animals. Now, in their world, the way you showed gratitude, humility, and devotion was by bringing offerings to God. It was a symbol of giving back the best of what you had. So one day, both brothers prepare an offering. Cain gathers crops from the field, grain, fruits, plants he's grown. Abel selects the firstlings of his flock, the best, healthiest, most valuable animals. This is important. In ancient cultures, offering an animal, especially your best animal, meant giving something costly, something that hurt, something that required sacrifice. The story says that God looked favorably on Abel's offering, but did not look favorably on Cain's. There's no explicit explanation. We aren't told what Cain did wrong. We aren't told why God preferred one gift over the other. And that unknowing is exactly the point. Put yourself in Cain's shoes. You work hard, you bring what you have, and you're told it isn't enough. Worse yet, your younger sibling, your rival, gets praised instead. What Cain felt wasn't jealousy. It was pure envy. Why is he rewarded and not me? What does he have that I don't? Why is his effort praised while my effort is ignored? That envy quickly curdles into resentment and then into rage. Cain invites Abel out into a field, and in a moment of anger and humiliation, he kills him. It is the first murder in recorded human mythology, and it didn't come from greed, lust, power, or fear. It came from envy. There are two ways to read the story. Interpretation A, Abel offered something better. Abel gave his best. Cain gave something adequate, but not excellent. Abel sacrificed. Cain contributed. If this is true, the story is telling us envy arises when we see someone doing what we know we could do, but we don't. Interpretation B. Life is unfair. Maybe Abel wasn't better. Maybe there was no reason. Sometimes the world rewards people who don't deserve it and ignores those who do everything right. If this is true, the story is saying envy arises when we're confronted with the randomness of life and think we are owed control. Both interpretations lead to the same emotional result. Cain felt powerless, overlooked, humiliated. The Stoics, especially Epictetus and Seneca, believed envy comes from misunderstanding what we can control. To Stoics, wealth, success, beauty, status, recognition are externals. They're preferred, sure, but not required for a good life. And most importantly, they are not fully in your control. Epictetus teaches, do not envy the man honored or powerful. If the good lies in what is up to us, no one can be happier than we are. In other words, what made Abel successful in the story wasn't external praise. It was internal virtue. And this brings us to the real message. Envy isn't about the other person. It's about the gap between who we are and who we know we could be. Cain wasn't enraged because Abel did something wrong. He was enraged because Abel did something right. And that rightness exposed Cain's own half-heartedness. This is why envy hurts so much. It shines a spotlight on the parts of ourselves we avoid. The Stoics understood this deeply. Seneca said that when we envy someone, we are really mourning our own potential. We aren't angry that they climbed higher. We're angry that we stayed where we are. That's the crossroads Cain stood at, and the crossroads every one of us stands at. There are only two paths. Path 1, the path of destruction. You let resentment rot you from the inside. You blame the world. You blame others. You try to tear down what reminds you of your inadequacy. This is Cain's choice, the choice to eliminate the comparison instead of rising to it. Path 2, the path of transformation. You take the sting of envy and turn it inward. You ask the harder question, what is this showing me about myself? What virtue did they practice that I avoid? What effort did they make that I refuse to make? Instead of tearing others down, you let their success pull you upward. The Stoics called this emulation, the noble imitation of virtue. Seneca put it simply, we should seek to be like those who excel, not resent them. Abel's offering becomes a symbol of this. Not perfection, not luck, but the willingness to give your best, even when no one is watching, even when life isn't fair. Cain's downfall was not that he was a farmer. It was that he refused to give the best of what he had. Instead of looking inward, he looked outward and let comparison become poison. The Stoic answer is the opposite. Look inward. Offer your best. Let other people's success be a mirror, not a weapon. Let it inform you, not destroy you. Let it inspire you, not diminish you. Because in the end, envy is a map. It points directly toward the person you secretly want to become. It reveals your values, your desires, and your neglected potential. Abel shows what's possible. Cain shows what happens when you refuse to see it. The Stoics would say, you can't control how the world treats you. You can't control the luck others receive. You can't control every outcome. But you can control your effort, your virtue, your offering. And that, unlike everything else, is always enough. Thank you for listening.